Shalom Mishpachah Wa Gadawa Yawam. In the name of Kala Yahweh Barak Hashem Yahweh Shai Wa Sawalam Ya Yakab Wa Barakatam. Today we're going to be doing a scripture observance, breaking down the word resurrection and the awakening. The Hebrew words we're going to break down first in the Strong's Concordance, and then we're going to get into our scripture observance. So, without further ado, let's do it. Isha, Maisha, let's go. This is the Greek or New Testament version of the word. It's G386 anastasis, and it means raising up, rising from a seat, rising from the dead, that of the resurrection of Christ, that of all men at the end of this present age, or the resurrection of certain ones' history who were restored to life. And that's Hebrews 11:35. We're going to break down the New Testament and the Old Testament. And this is the Old Testament rendition. This is the root of the Old Testament Hebrew word Yaqa'Taza, to bring sleep to an end, to not be in a state of sleeping. It's the Strong's 3364, and this is the original etymology of the word. And we're going to see the New Age version of the word from the Blue Letter Bible. This is the New Age version of the word in Hebrew. It's just kutz, which is part of Yaqa'Taza, the original word, and it means to awake through the idea of abruptness and starting up from sleep. And it compares the original root, which is the one we went over in the Lashawan Kadash, to wake physically, figuratively, or literally, to arise, awake. And we're going to see from a scriptural perspective how that word is broken down. Also want to point out, just as an allegorical state, we see like in movies that depict the scriptures like The Matrix, where, their resurrection after being baptized and saved from slumber of the Matrix was just the beginning of their new start. And, basically what comes next is revelation and revolution. This is another New Age breakdown of 3364 Yaqa'Taza or Yaqa'Taza, to awaken, be awake, become active. So without further ado, now that we see the meaning of the words and how they're broken down from a phonetic perspective and etymology, let's get into their scriptural usage. Let's do it. Isha, Maisha. Genesis 9:24. And Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done to him. And he prophesied and said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. And he said, Blessed be Yahweh, power of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. Yahweh shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years. Genesis 28:16. And Jacob awaked out of his sleep, and he said, Surely Yahweh El Shaddai is in this place, and I knew it not. Isaiah 26:19. Thy dead men shall live, together with my body shall they arise. Awake and sing, ye that dwell in dust, for thy dew is as the dew of herbs, and the earth shall cast out the dead. Isaiah 29:8. It shall be even as when an hungry man dreameth, and behold, he eateth, but he awaketh, and his soul is empty. Or as when a thirsty man dreameth, and behold, he drinketh, but he awaketh, and behold, he is faint, and his soul hath appetite. So shall the multitude of all the nations be that fight against Mount Zion. This is Job 14:12. So man lieth down and riseth not, till the heavens be no more. They shall not awake, nor be raised out of their sleep. Oh, that thou wouldest hide me in the grave, that thou wouldest keep me secret until thy wrath be past, that thou wouldest appoint me a set time and remember me. If a man die, shall he live again? All the days of mine appointed time will I wait till my change come. Thou shalt call, and I will answer thee. Thou wilt have a desire to the work of thine hands. This is Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 5. And I want to make everyone pay attention to the fact that this precepts with 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. And Ezekiel chapter 7 verse 5 reads, Thus saith Yahweh our Elohim, an evil and only evil, behold, is come. An end is come, the end is come. It watches for thee, behold, it is come. The morning is come unto thee, O that dwellest in the land. The time is come. The day of trouble is near, and not the sounding again of the mountains. So once again, let me go to 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, just for purpose of edification. This is 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, and it reads, For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the new beginning of it that followeth. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Other question, Esdras asked thou not. 2 Kings 4:31. And Gehazi passed on before them, and laid the staff upon the face of the child, but there was neither voice nor hearing. Wherefore he went again to meet Elisha, and told him, saying, The child is not awaked. And when Elisha was come into the house, behold, the child was dead, and laid upon his bed. He went in therefore, and shut the door upon them twain, and prayed unto Yahweh. And he went up and lay upon the child, and put his mouth upon his mouth, and his eyes upon his eyes, and his hands upon his hands. And he stretched himself upon the child, and the flesh of the child waxed warm. Then he returned and walked in the house to and fro, and went up and stretched himself upon him, and the child sneezed 7 times, and the child opened his eyes. Now I want to make sure that everyone understands that this is a precept to the spirit, and how it quickeneth the flesh. Also, how the Most High breathed the breath of life into man and gave us life in the beginning. Just keep in mind, there's nothing that keeps your lungs breathing and your heart beating but the will of the Most High. It's something you don't even have to inherently put effort forth to think about doing, because it's through His will. So, next scripture. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 19, and it goes in line with what I was just speaking about. Woe unto him that saith to the wood, Awake, to the dumb stone, Arise, it shall teach. Behold, it is laid over with gold and silver, and there is no breath at all in the midst of it. but Yahweh is in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silence before him. So he made man his holy temple and his vessel for his holy breath. We have the ability to speak, which is of the Spirit and the word of the Most High. So, without further ado, let's continue to the next script. This is Psalms chapter 3, verse 4. I cried unto Yahweh with my voice, and he heard me out of his holy hill, Selah. I laid me down and slept. I awaked, for Yahweh sustained me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. Arise, O Yahweh, save me, O my Elohim, for thou hast smitten all mine enemies upon the cheekbone, thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. Salvation belongeth unto Yahweh, thy blessing is upon thy people, Selah. So we're going to go into the New Testament now, but before that I want to precept Joel 1 and 5 with the New Testament scripture. And it reads, Awake, ye drunkards, and weep, and howl, all you drinkers of wine, because of the new wine, for it is cut off from your mouth. This is Matthew chapter 9, and it's a revelation of the New Testament. It's starting at verse 15, and it reads, And Yahushua said unto them, Can the children of the bride chamber mourn, as long as the bridegroom is with them? But the days will come, when the bridegroom shall be taken from them, and then shall they fast. No man putteth a piece of new cloth unto an old garment, for that which is put in to fill it up taketh from the garment, and the rent is made worse. Neither do men put new wine into old bottles, else the bottles break, and the wine runneth out, and the bottles perish. But they put new wine into new bottles, and both are preserved. So this is also a revelation of the new resurrection and the new covenant. In a new resurrection, we'll have new vessels for our spirits, and we'll also be under a new testament and covenant through the law being written within our innermost being. So let's get a look at that from a New Testament perspective. This is Matthew chapter 22, starting at verse 23. The same day came to him the Sadducees, which say that there is no resurrection, and asked him, saying, Master, Moses said, If a man die having no children, his brother shall marry his wife, and raise up seed unto his brother. Now there were with us 7 brethren, and the first, when he had married a wife, deceased, and having no issue left his wife unto his brother. Likewise the second and the third unto the 7th, and last of all the woman died also. Therefore in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be of the 7? For they all had her. Yahushua answered and said unto them, Ye do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of Yahweh. For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels of Yahweh in heaven. But as touching the resurrection of the dead, have you not read that which was spoken unto you by Elohim, saying, I am the Elohim of Abraham, and the Elohim of Isaac, and the Elohim of Jacob. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. Next scripture. This is Matthew 27, beginning at verse 50. And Yahushua, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ghost. And behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake, and the rocks rent, and the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose, and came out of the graves after his resurrection, and went into the holy city, and appeared unto many. Luke 14 and verse 13, and it reads, But when thou makest a feast, call the poor, the maimed, the lame, the blind, and thou shalt be blessed, for they cannot recompense thee, for thou shalt be recompensed at the resurrection of the just. This is another precept with the Old Testament. This is John 5 and 25, and it reads, Verily, verily, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of Elohim, and they that hear shall live. For as the Father have life in himself, so has he given to the Son to have life in himself, and has given him authority to execute judgment also, because he is the Son of Man. Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming, in the which all that are in the graves shall hear his voice, and shall come forth, they that have done good unto the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation. And this is the book of Daniel, chapter 12. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. John chapter 11, verse 23. Yahushua saith unto her, Thy brother shall rise again. Martha saith unto him, I know that he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Yahushua said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. Whosoever believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this?